Hey babes, my name's Diamond and I write a blog called The Fancy Girls Guide, and I empower women to elevate their lives through fashion, lifestyle, and self-care. Today our video is going to be about how to level up as a single mom. This video has been so much like heavy on my heart all week. It's all I have been able to think about. I think a lot of the level up content is aimed towards very young, single childless women, and I wanted to make something that's specifically for my girls that have children. It doesn't matter if you have one or more. These are going to be some great tools for you to utilize so that you can reach that next level. You can level up and live the dream lifestyle you desire. Now, if you don't have any children, there's still going to be some great tips in here for you. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out the links in the bio so that you can subscribe to the blog so that you don't miss anything. All right, let's get started. Babes, the very first thing that you want to do to level up as a single mom is to release the shame that's attached to being a single mom. I know that as a single mom, there can be a lot of shame and a lot of embarrassment on maybe your family not working out or raising children by yourself. I know that there is so much negativity spewed towards single moms and single Black moms in particular. And so the very first thing you want to do is to release the shame that comes from being a single mom. I know the majority of us, as you know, I am a single mom. I have a daughter. She's 4. She's delightful. She is like the light and it's just incredible. And I love being a mom. And I know that when I first became a single mom, I felt so ashamed and embarrassed that this family that I had started didn't work out the way that I had planned. And I think that a lot of that I carried with me, and I could just, now looking back on it, I realized that I would feel like I needed to like over explain or like explain to every single person how I became a single mom so that I wasn't looked at as like careless or just like I didn't care about my future, the future of my child, or like what was best for her, because there's so much that is said about single moms that it can kind of make you defensive. And the reality is that you don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't owe anybody anything. The only thing you owe is for yourself to be the best woman that you can be, and for your children to be the best mom that you can be to them. And the reality is that although being a single mom is probably not ideal, I know that for myself and the majority of single moms I know, we weren't really planning on being single moms. We planned on having families, and those families just either fell apart or didn't work out, or whatever. So release those feelings of, oh my gosh, this didn't work out the way that I thought, because the reality is that if something did not work out the way that you planned, it's because God has a better plan for you. Now, I know to be able to like release shame and embarrassment, it's not just something that you can just be like, okay, I'm over it, like I don't care. Because a lot of times when you do that, you're just lying to yourself, and you do really care. And that's still going to show up in your actions and the way that you feel about yourself and the way that you treat yourself. And so I'm going to give you some tools that will help you to release the shame and embarrassment. So number one is going to be to do a devotional. So recently I did the TD Jakes Woman Thou Art Whole and Healed, or Healed and Hold. I'll link it in the bio. But it's a 90-day devotional, and when I say this devotional transformed me, it really just made me come face to face with so much shame, so much embarrassment, so many things that I have carried in myself as a woman. And it just really helped to heal my heart, bring me closer to God. Now, I know everybody watching this video is not going to be a Christian, but this is not specifically a Christian thing. It doesn't have to be that devotional. You can find a devotional that fits your religious belief or spiritual beliefs, or just whatever your lifestyle is. There are so many different devotionals that you can find. I would recommend checking Amazon and just looking for the exact thing that you connect with. You can read the reviews and all of that, but I think a daily devotional, something where you are committed to giving yourself this time to work through this pain, these feelings, and just whatever you need to work through in order to come out on that other side of being able to feel confident and feel, proud of where you are and where you have gotten in your life. So a devotional is going to be the number one thing, and then the next thing is going to be to go to therapy. So I started therapy a few years ago. I started and then I stopped and worked on some of the tools from those couple therapy sessions, and then I kind of was, I don't know, avoidant of therapy because I was like, okay, I just gotta figure this out on my own, which is like, don't do that, child. There's literally people that are made to help you figure out everything that you need to figure out. So like, don't feel like you need to do it on your own. And that's what this channel is for, is like, you are not alone, babe. Like, you have people that care about you, people that want the best for you. Like, I care about you. I want you to have just the abundance and the love and the kindness and the everything that God has for each and every one of you. So therapy is great. There's literally so many different ways to do therapy. Like, I know my therapist, I found my therapist through my job, through like one of the programs there, one of the benefits. But there's also, I've seen other videos where they've mentioned like BetterHelp, where it's like a website, they assign you a therapist, and then if you don't like the therapist, you can change. It's virtual. So definitely check out some type of therapy, with someone who's trusted, who's licensed, and somebody who's going to be able to give you an objective view. Because when you go to therapy, and you really do get an objective view, and it kind of teaches you to step outside of yourself and recognize, like, this is not the end of the world. Like, whatever you've done, whatever you've gone through, wherever you are in life, it's not the end of the world. And if it was the end, you would be laying in your grave. Like, every single day you wake up, you have an opportunity to make the changes that you want to make. So don't feel like you're stuck. Don't feel like you can't move forward, because you absolutely can. Now, the last thing I'm going to recommend, this is going to be kind of a sensitive topic, and I want you to know that this is coming from a place of love and a place of personal experience, but you want to do a self-esteem assessment. Now, when I say self-esteem assessment, what I'm saying is really looking deep into yourself, really doing some self-assessment to see, like, where is my self-esteem? Where is my self-respect? Where are my just value levels of myself? Because the reality is, I know for me, when I look back at the fact that I intentionally had a baby with somebody that was not my husband, and not because of anything else other than my self-esteem was low, my desperation was high, and I desired a family so bad without doing the proper work and putting in the proper steps to really have the family that God has ordained for me. And I know that just in general, like, really think about the fact that to have a baby with someone, you are risking your life. So how high would you say your self-esteem could really be if you're willing to risk your life for someone who has not even made you their family? Like, the reality is that if you're not married to a man, you are not his family. Like, you are just the girl that he's sleeping with. Whether you're a girlfriend, whether you're in a committed relationship, whether you've been together for 5 years, or you just met yesterday, if you are not his wife, you are nobody to him, really. And so there has to be something deep inside of you that is off kilter for you to be willing to risk your precious, beautiful, God-given life for someone who has not committed themselves to you fully. And so once I really recognized, like, whoa, we are operating from a place of like lack and scarcity and not really fully loving yourself, and that is how we got here. Once I recognized that, I recognize that I can make the changes to lift my self-esteem and find my self-worth, and to really heal these things that have pushed me to make decisions for my life that were not really in my best interest. So really take a look at, like, where's your self-esteem? And if you have low self-esteem, I am here to tell you that you are not alone. Like, so many of us are suffering from low self-esteem because of our family dynamics, the communities that we grew up in, growing up in poverty. There's so many different things that can affect, how you get to a point of where your self-esteem is low. And the reality is that it's nothing to be ashamed of, because you have the power to do the work to improve. Like, you can literally change your life. Like, I used to have low self-esteem, and now, child, you can't tell me anything. Like, you can't tell me anything about myself. Like, I love myself through and through. Like, the power of God, like, God loves me. Like, child, God doesn't play about me. Like, he has not taken his hand off me, period. So I know that I am worthy of love. I'm worthy of protection and provision and commitment, because God has given me all of those things. And so there's no reason for my self-esteem to be low. I'm fabulous. I'm intelligent. I am a child of God. Like, there's so many great things about me. And once you raise your self-esteem, your standards will raise with that. And you will not find yourself in a position to be overly committing yourself in your life to a person that is not willing to do the same for you. The next step in how to elevate your life as a single mom is going to be to set boundaries around what you share as a mom. So this is going to apply to a variety of things. And so when I say set boundaries around what you share as a mom, I'm talking about in the dating market. Like, there's not really too much I share about my personal situation with my daughter, what the dynamic is with me and her father, and all of that, because the reality is that it's nobody's business. It's me and her father's responsibility to take care of her, and I'm going to protect, that. And that way I don't have to deal with the opinions of maybe, the men that I date, or the opinions of strangers on the internet, or just the opinions of anybody who doesn't have a real connection to me raising my daughter. So I set boundaries around what I'm willing to share, with men while I'm dating, unless we are exclusive, unless this is serious. It's really not a lot that I am sharing, like the personal details of, the development of my child, any of that. And then that way, that is a safe space. That is something that is protected. It's like, when you overshare information, then that opens up the doors for people to give their opinions. And the reality is that I don't need anybody. I'm good. Like, I'm good, thank you. So that is going to be one scenario. Another scenario could be like what you share on the internet. There's not a lot of my daughter on the internet, just because there's a variety of reasons. One, I'm a pretty private person. And this is something I have developed over the years. I used to be someone who, really overshared because I was really looking for that outside validation. But now I'm in a place in my life where I'm never looking for validation from others. Like, the validation that I need comes from within. It comes from God. It comes from the people in my life that truly matter. And so I'm not, putting things on the internet. I'm not talking about my situation. I'm not looking for, other women in a similar situation so that I can compare myself to them and say, oh, well, at least I have it better than her. Or, oh man, I wish I had her situation. Like, no. I'm not doing any of that. So really setting boundaries around what you share as a mom, that is going to be something that is going to truly elevate you, because you're going to be able to operate in a space of protection. And that's what you really need. Like, your nature, by nature, you desire to be protected. And so as a single mom, we have to take on that role of protector. We have to protect ourselves. We have to protect our children. And just in general, the internet is a weird place. And I just don't like the idea of my child being on the internet and thousands of people like saving a video of her. Like, you don't need to have a video of my child in your phone. Like, it just gives weird vibes. It's, of course, personal preference. If you're a content creator and you know, create family content and all of that, that's totally up to you. I support you doing whatever you want to do 100%. But just for me, myself, it's, I just don't really want to open my daughter up to that level of exposure before she has had the opportunity to choose that for herself. So setting boundaries around what you share as a mom is going to do um so much for your mental health, so much for your ability to create a vision for you and your children, and it's just going to really just alleviate a lot of the stress, that unnecessary stress from negative comments or just anything like that. Okay, babes. Tip number 3 is going to be to shift your mindset from baby mama to co-parent. So, what I mean by this is the idea of being a baby mama is like, one, it's so stereotypical and it's such a box to put yourself in. And the reality is that you are not somebody's baby mama. You are a co-parent of a child. Now, depending on your situation, whether you're like a single mom where you don't get help from the dad, or you're a single mom that, you know, splits the week or splits the days, however the dynamic, either way, this man does not deserve the honor of giving you a title other than wife. So either you are a wife or a co-parent. Do not allow men to attach labels, like give you labels to attach you to them that are not honorable. I would never call myself a baby mama. Like, this was something that I always was just like, no, it's just not, I don't identify with it. When I think of baby mama, it is usually, you know, depicted as being young, dumb, bitter, irrational, toxic, like, oh, you still sleep with him, or he still has access to you. And the reality is that you have no access to me. We parent a child together. That is what we do. I am not your anything. I'm barely your ex, for real. Don't even tell anybody that we know each other. This is so funny because I literally say this all the time and my friends think it's so funny because I'm always like, yeah, don't tell nobody we know each other. Like, at the end of the day, we're gonna raise this child together, but we don't need to attach these labels to one another. I don't need to have ownership of you. You're not my baby daddy. Like, we are both co-parents. Like, I am not your baby mama. And I'm never going to be your baby mama. I'm never going to fit into that box. I'm never going to play that role. And I'm never going to allow somebody to have some type of ownership over me that they have not earned. Like, and I know ownership sounds like a weird word, but like, if you look at marriage, men used to have to literally pay. Like, you got to come out of pocket for this. Like, you got to pay a dowry. You have to commit to taking care of this woman. Now, you have not paid the price. You have not earned that status with me. So I'm not going to allow you to place a label on me and then I have to live through that label. The reality is that I don't have any attachment to this ex, other than the fact that we have a child together. And that is the point that you want to get to, because that is where the freedom is. That is when you take control back over your life. That is where you regain your sense of self and your sense of honor. Don't allow these people to put these labels on you that are negative in connotation and that do not define who you truly are. At the end of the day, you're a single woman or you're a wife. That's the standard. And it's nothing wrong with being either one for as long as you want to be those. But for me, I just feel like the label baby mama is like literally, I was going to say it's beneath me, but it's not even beneath me. It's just not in my vibration. It is not in my frequency. It is not in my reality. Like, to be a baby mama, like, what even is that? Like, you're not about to box me into this like little ghetto stereotype so that you can feel like you're, you know, a rapper. And it's like, oh, I got all these baby mamas. Not talking about my child father, but I'm just saying in general, that's what it's given. It's given like you want to claim this woman as your property in some way. But like, no, babe. Again, we don't even know each other. Once you get that mentality, like, child, we don't even know each other. Like, we're just raising a child together. It's so much freedom. Like, ew, ick, get away. Step number 4 is going to be use your child or children to learn more about yourself. So this is something that is so invaluable, and I don't hear enough talk about this just in general, but there is so much power and so much like blessing that comes from becoming a mom, married or unmarried, it does not matter. Like, as a mom, your children are such a beautiful reflection of you that they are literally a mirror for you. Like, my daughter, I'm going to give you an example. So, my daughter, like I said, she's 4. So, I noticed in her that she's very fearful of things, like scared to try new things, scared to get hurt. And it made me wonder, like, where is she getting this from? And I realized that I'm also afraid of things, like very much. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to just generally like very fearful. Like, I was in a place of like my anxiety was very high, afraid for something to go wrong, and I was projecting that into her. I was literally teaching her how to be afraid of the world. Don't run, don't jump, don't. And this is something that I got from my mom. I remember being a kid and my mom would always be like, don't hurt yourself because we're not going to the hospital, or like, you don't want to scratch up your pretty legs, or which thank God my mom told me that, because child, I got some beautiful legs and they are not scratched up. But I'm just saying that they reflect back to you a lot of your qualities. And so if there's things where you're like looking to see where you can become better, pay attention to your children. Pay attention to the way that they speak. Pay attention to the way that they take on challenges, the way that they try new things, the way that they treat other people. Like, all of this, your children are learning from you. You're their very first teacher. They are getting, I would say probably 90% of them is going to come from you. Of course, it's going to come from the other parent as well. But there's just something different about being a mom. Like, again, as women, we're the nurturers, that feminine energy. Like, they get a lot of their love and what love feels like and looks like to them from us. They see us, they watch us, the different things that we do. And if you're looking to see, what am I doing really well? What am I not doing so well? It will be reflected in your children. Like, one thing I can say, my self-care is top tier. Like, I love to be moisturized. I love to look beautiful. I love to be well taken care of. And my daughter is like, literally will be like, we'll be getting ready. She'll be like, moisturize. Like, she knows, okay, I need to moisturize. Okay, it's time to take a bath. Oh, I need some lotion. Oh, my skin is itching. I'm feeling dry. Like, these are literally things that she, as a kid, is like, she's wants her hands to be clean, wants to be, clean, wants to have on fresh clothes. And it's because she learned that from me. She learned how to take care of her body and to look at herself and say, oh, wow, like pretty hair. And like all of those things she got from me. And so I can't take credit for all of the good without recognizing, I don't want to say the bad, but just like the not, maybe just the things that I could do better or that I could change and adjust. And me being able to see that in her has helped me to address these things within myself, which has now elevated my life. Because being fearful of trying new things, being fearful of the world, that is going to hinder your growth, and it's going to hinder your ability to accept new information and to move forward with a positive attitude and to even believe like what is possible for yourself. So that's just one example. Of course, you're going to look at your children and see like, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, but that's going to be one of the best ways for you to see what you truly need to work on. Babes, the very last tip I have for you is going to be to use social media to help, not hurt. So I think that social media is such a beautiful place because one, you're in control of your algorithm. You get to follow people that either inspire you, encourage you, empower you, or people that, make you feel bad and make you feel argumentative and defensive, and that will reinforce these limiting beliefs that you may already have. And so I think that it's so important, and a shift in my life happened when I unfriended people who would, talk bad about single moms, or that would, just say negative things about black women, or just, whatever that it didn't identify with me. I just let it go. Like, block them, unfollow them, whatever you got to do, but utilize social media to help to empower you. There are so many different, people that have recommended books, or who have recommended programs, or people who have had workshops that I've attended that has helped me. And these are people that are from social media, relationships that I have built from social media. And it's like, these things have empowered my life. I'm better off for it. It has helped me to grow, to make more money, as a single mom, to elevate our life, to find different resources to help with the different challenges that we may be dealing with. And there is somebody that is telling their story that you're going to be able to relate to, that is going to be able to help you out. And those are the people that you should look for on social media, versus these super negative men on podcasts that are always talking about how single moms aren't worth marrying, and how they are washed up, or whatever it is that they're saying. Like, I used to see so much of that on my timeline, and it of course naturally is going to make you feel defensive. It's going to make you feel like, wow, is this the way that people truly feel? Like, because I'm a mom, like, you think that I'm worthless, and you think, and maybe they do. Who cares? It doesn't matter what they think. It matters what you think. Like, you get the life that you want based off of what you think, not based off of what somebody else thinks. And so there's no reason to allow these people space in your mind, space in your life. So utilize social media to elevate yourself. There's so much information, like, that you can get from books, from podcasts, from different YouTube channels. Like, whatever you're struggling with, you want to cook more nutritious meals as a mom. You want to, be better at your daily schedule with your children. You want to do different activities. You want to find ways to balance time with yourself and time with your kids. There is information on, like, social media, the different social media platforms. There's information, there is something that can help you, and that is how you should utilize social media. How can I find the information that I need so that I can become the person that I want to be? Not how can I argue with people on the internet and try to prove my worth to them, and how it doesn't matter how many times you comment, but your mom was a single mom. Your mom, they don't care. They don't give a D, okay? And you shouldn't give it one either. Let them go and find whatever it is that they are looking for, and you find what you are looking for. And that is where the true joy of life is going to come. And that is how you're going to elevate as a single mom. Babes, these were my 5 tips on how to elevate as a single mom. Now, if you want, like, more detailed tips or more, because this was just like the scratch of the surface. Like, this is literally like, this is like the mindset stuff that you really need to do. Just the little tiny shifts. Now, if you babes really want me to get, like, deep down and, like, really give you some different tools, really give you some more tips, please let me know. Comment that down below. If you are a single mom who has been able to elevate your life, let me know in the comments, what are you doing? Like, give the girls some of your tips. Let me know what you think about the tips that I gave. Let me know which one was your favorite. If there's anything you don't agree with, I'm totally open to hearing you out. And let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, babes. I want you to have the absolute best and the most wonderful life that God has ever imagined for you. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.